Hello everyone and welcome. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the absolutely comprehensive unit and squad creator in USC Counterforce. Now this is one of the most exciting things, at least to me, about the project, and it's going to let you tweak and customize just about every aspect of how you approach missions and what your unit looks like. We're going to be making squad willow tree in this video that we'll use to run through the videos that we make on this channel for USC Counterforce. Alright, so first up we've got Bella Novia. Nova here is our frontliner, our tank. She's the leader and we're going to need all of those points to make an effective tank. And right behind her we've got Kai Allens. Kai's going to be our frontline gunner. He's going to attack and kill whatever Nova tanks. Sharon Morales. She's going to be the medic and she's going to have her hands full. We'll go into it when we get to equipment. Banfield here is going to be our electrotechnics and hacking specialist. He's going to have a lot of control over the battlefield, but not too much damage output. Truman Archer here is the first of our heavy weapons specialists. He's going to focus on armor penetration and stripping the armor of the heaviest targets we find. Finally, Franklin here is our resident sniping specialist. I've no doubt there's going to be some situations that only she can solve. Moving into skill points, let's take a look at how we're going to distribute these and go into some of these abilities and what they do. As we discussed, Bella is going to be our melee specialist, so let's put that skill to 5. Now you'll notice right away that we gained access to secondary and primary specializations in a skill at levels 3 and 4 respectively for it. We're going to increase that to 5 and make her primary specialization. Now you can see she's going to have a drastically increased base damage of her melee attacks, in addition to heavily augmenting her defensive capabilities. Next up we're going to go for endurance. 5 here as well is going to drastically increase her base maximum health and overall just make her more resilient. Agility next, because when it comes to agility, everyone is going to need a lot of this. It governs action points, and action economy is God. We're going to give her 5. And finally, because she's going to see horrors that nobody else in this squad nor on this planet is going to see, we're going to give her 5 mental conditioning as well. We're also going to position her secondary specialization here. Now she'll never panic or attack friendlies whilst berserk. When it comes to Alan's skills, we're going to give him that same secondary specialization in mental conditioning. We discussed he's going to be a shooter, his marksmanship goes up, and we make it his primary, drastically increasing his small arms efficiency. We're going to give him 5 agility as well, to make sure he's got as much movement as possible, as many action points as possible, to execute and attack targets. We're going to put some into endurance, because he's also going to be on the front line. And finally, I think we'll put 2 into field expertise. He's going to be moving around on the front line alongside Nova, and he will be able to potentially open doors for her and the like. You can see our field expertise is quite a wide-ranging ability that affects all sorts of things, including your ability to just, navigate the battlefield and pick things up, opening doors included. Morales, as our medic, is going to specialize in biochemistry. We're going to give her 5 points in that and make that her primary. This is going to reduce the amount of action points it costs her to use medical items, but also, as you can see, her primary specialization, treating a unit with missing health of less than 50% of the max item's effectiveness does not consume the item. That is going to go so far when it comes to keeping our medkits working. We're going to give her that same 3 points in mental conditioning so that she can secondary specialize in that, never panicking or attacking friendlies in the berserk state. The 8 she has remaining, we're going to split equally between agility and marksmanship to hope that she can help the frontliners put things down if they don't finish it, because she's going to be there to patch them up at the same time. Moving on to Banfield, who, as discussed, is going to be our electrotechnics specialist. We'll give him 4 points in that so that we can make it his primary specialization. I don't fully know the ramifications of that specialization ability, but he's our hacker, it makes sense he should hack stuff. Putting 4 points in marksmanship. I don't know, this is just a good ability, right? There's always going to be stuff to shoot. And reloading for half cost seems good to me. 4 points in mental conditioning means he's going to be able to get up close and personal, and not panic at like key times, because we're going to need him to do sometimes very clutch things like locking doors or doing objectives. And that leaves us with only 2 skill points remaining to put into agility, because agility is very, very good. Coming now to Truman. This is the first one of our troops that we promote, putting him on par warrant officer here with Banfield. As discussed, he's looking to be a heavy weapons specialist, and giving him primary specialization in heavy arms means that, as you can see, as long as he hits stuff, he's stripping armor. This is going to allow him to be very reliable at doing the job we discussed for him earlier. Next up, we're going to give him 5 points in agility, because when we want that done, we need that done. Next, 3 points in mental conditioning, for exactly the same reason. We can't have this guy bulking when the big thing shows up and we need its armor cracked. Finally, with 1 point left, I guess we'll put that in endurance, because he looks like a tough guy, right? And finally, Kelly Franklin. We're going to promote her as well, give her a few more points to work with. And as discussed, she is our resident sniper. I alluded to that being a heavy arm, but it is in fact still under marksmanship being a small arm. 5 points in that will make her as efficient as we can make her at it, and making it her primary gives her increased crit hit chance and crit damage factor. You know, like she's aiming for headshots, right? 5 points in agility as well allow her to engage that target if she's the only one who can engage it. We need it engaged very aggressively, right? So when she needs to do her job, she needs to be able to do it as much as we need her to. And secondary specialization in that, make her better at jumping. I don't know if there's going to be elevated positions for her to jump between, but I can see that being kind of apt, right? With only 2 points left, I'm going to put those into field expertise, because if she's operating away from the main group, she may have to open or close a door for herself, maybe climb a ladder, that sort of thing. We'll find out. Now we're getting into weapons loadouts. Now let's check out the melee tab for Nova's gear. We're going to take the Frontier Axe, being the best melee weapon we have right now, and we're going to take the Riot Shield. We can go ahead and right click on these to equip them down there, and you see it stopped warning us that there's something wrong with Nova's kit now. We're also going to go into the equipment tab, into gear and tech, and we're going to give her extra armor plating, a combat helmet, and a full contingent of frag grenades. When it comes to Allens and Morales, we're going to give them both assault rifles, as they're both going to be on the front line. Close to the action, seems like an apt weapon for it. Then we're going to go ahead and give Allens some armor as well. We'll go ahead and equip those. And we're going to give Allens, I think, a stack of smart mines too. Let's take care of our medic's equipment. As I mentioned earlier, this is going to be a little more complicated. Let's go into equipment. We'll go into biochem. We're going to take a max stack of medkits. This seems to be the big one, yep. Buy a full stack of those. We're also going to buy a full stack of first aid kits. Then, I think, a full stack of bandages. This seems to stack a bit bigger, so let's buy a half stack. Maybe a few more. I don't know. And stacks to 5. Yeah, we'll get a full stack of neutro as well. So I think fire, acid, poison, and these are just health and bleeding, right? So we can now take care of everything here, I think. Oh, one of the things worth doing now before I forget is let's just go ahead and give ourselves 2 full stacks of ammunition, plus if we right click these, oh, let's unclick that and right click those, that loads them into the weapon. Because I think if we equip this weapon, that now changes to it's not loaded. So we'll take care of her ammunition as well. Load some of those and buy another full 2 stacks. Perfect. Let's take care of Michael's hacking device in gear and tech under Primatron Cerberus. Yep, this is a hacking device. He gets one. And we should also give him a weapon. He's going to take a Bulleteer. SMG, and we'll give him a full set of ammo for that as well. Now, when it comes to Archer, we're just looking for the most aggressive heavy weapon we can have right now. There's a lot of aggressive stuff down here we can't yet have. But this'll do. I feel like we're going to go through a lot of this. So we'll equip it. We'll, oh wait, this is probably gonna... Well, let's see how big the magazine is. Buy a stack. It was 100 rounds, okay. Can you imagine how much that ammunition would weigh? Then we'll get Franklin her sniper rifle. Get her a full stack of ammunition for it. And load it. There's no way we can fill that stack up in a neat way, so that should be fine. Not like she's going to be fully automatic with it. Well, it looks like we've got some money left. We've got 26 grand, and I can think of some things we can spend it on. I know that there's something in Biochem that we can give these guys to make them a little more morale, acid poison. Yeah, so I think, what if we... What do these stack to? Well, let's buy 5 for you. 5 for you. 5 for you. Try just those for now. Health stims. Give them all a few. If they, you know, can use this urgently when the doc can't get to them, maybe. I think probably worth having a few of these hanging around. We'll give him some health stims as well, actually. That seems fine. What else is good? Our boy here could have some grenades. I feel like he could probably use them. Tactical laser scope? Oh, additional crits. And crit damage factor? Well, we want one of those here for sure. Maybe here as well. Like I say, these are very impactful units that, like, when we need them to hit, we really want them to hit, right? That seems fine. Yeah. I guess grenades. What else can we spend? What can we spend 400 on? Anyway, I'm not going to waste your time with that. You get the point. Now, hopefully, you've got a good idea how USC Counterforce is going to let you modify, specify, quantify all sorts of things about your troopers, about your squad. Over here on the squad specs panel, you can deal with some things like their name. This is the title that's going to pop up here. Here, various places throughout the game. Their icon, a whole bunch of pretty ones here. I kind of like that. Motto, I don't really know where this shows up, so we've just left that standard. And their livery, don't know if this is what's going to show up, but I think red is going to make us easy to see, right? You can save these loadouts over here, and I want to quantify now. Loadout determines what the guys are wearing, what they're carrying, all of their weapons and such. That's what you spent all of your points on, right? So if we go ahead, this is saved, you don't need to work on it, but if I were to hit new one, you can see how they've all got nothing again. So if we delete that one, go back to starter, they've got all the stuff, still got our 400 spare points, I'll figure out where they go. And this save button over here saves the squad. That is the people, the actual identities that you may have given them here. Everything here starts as just UN, I think, and they're all sort of randomized otherwise. I've had a little play here, give them some identity, and you can do this to your heart's content. I don't really think it modifies anything other than their voice pitch, obviously.
Roger that.
Resembling what they sound like. Folks, thank you so much if you've made it to this point. If you feel like hitting the like button down below, I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe if you'd like more content like this, especially let me know in the comments down below if you want to see more USC Counterforce. But after all of this, don't forget the most important thing, be kind to yourself. I'll see you on the next one.